Cool. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the How to Debug Code Properly. And yeah, in this episode, I will continue to show you um, how to debug a project, and this time we are going to debug a simple Django application. So this episodes will be continue. I'm planning to it for Next.js and some other frameworks. For example, it could be Fast API and so on. Um, just basically to give you more insight how like proper debugging works, so you can able to do it in real world applications without like worrying how I can even run the application or how to configure the launch.json and so on. Alright, so let's get started. So we have some simple Django application, and I downloaded it from, I git cloned it from the GitHub made by this guy, and it's a simple Django app which basically, saves the views, how many times the page viewed, and saves it to the database. And we will try to debug this application. So as usual, let's go to run a debug section and create a launch.json file. So let's select Python, and that is a Django application. So let's select Django. And if you already noticed, the program value is different from the previous one. So previously we did it for like simple Python script, and it was like the debugger is supposed to run the active tab we were in, but this time we need to define the absolute path to start the application from. So if you're familiar with Django, um, the command to run Django application locally is Python manage.py and run server. So that's why we are saying that, okay, so entry point for running Django application is manage.py, and the argument is going to be run server. So if you have some other arguments after run server, it could be anything, you basically need to include them here as well. See other arg, let's say, and you put comma and you include some flag and comma and include some, I don't know, port number, something like that. Okay, the VSCode debug configuration will formulate the command for you by concatenating those arguments and putting them after the main command. So let's remove them. We don't need it for now. And that's basically it. So if we run the program now, it's probably going to give an error, but I will explain in a second why. So that's it, no such file or directory. So what's wrong? We defined manage.py, everything. But the thing is, you see the VSCode launch.json created in root directory currently I'm in, simple Django app directory. But it's supposed to be like the manage.py is inside cool counters folder. But at the moment debugger looks to that directory to see manage.py, it couldn't find it, that's why it raises an error. So the simple fix for that is basically to refactor the path of the program. So we'll put the correct one. This $sign and curly braces workspace folder means that like it automatically you see this is like placeholder that can be used in launch.json to like this variable is automatically finding our current directory we are in. So you don't need to like write everything from the scratch. You can just declare this variable, and the VS Code will automatically replace it with the current active directory we are in. Okay, so workspace folder. It usually can be also workspace root, but let's keep it workspace folder. And okay, so let's run it. This time it should work. It didn't. And why? Cool counters. Okay, I missed the. I have typo in the folder name. Let's run it again. Cool, it runs now. Let's go to localhost 8000. Cool, there have been 2 views already. Nice. So now let's do some debugging. Let's go inside counter app, and inside it we have views. You see, that is the place where the views are increments from. The counter dot value +1 each time. Let's put some breakpoints here. And let's put some breakpoints here as well, and here. Okay, cool. And now let's navigate, refresh the page, and that's it. We stopped our code execution on line 5. Let's see what's our counter model is. We can see requests. We can expand the request object here. We can see bodies none because it's get request and so on. And let's go one step over. 404. And okay, that is because, okay, so we already initialized the counter model. That's why it didn't create it again. It's not equal to 0. You see, we already have a counter object. So that's why it basically skipped that part and went to directly increment the value. I don't know why there is else statement here. That is, I think, not the correct way of doing it, but anyway, I'm not going to talk about the code logic. Okay, we're just debugging it. Counter.value +1. So let's see what's the current value. It's 2. Also, let's add some watch here. Counter.watch. Oh, sorry guys, yeah, that should be value. It's 2. Cool, let's go one step over. Yeah, it changed to 3. We can see it from real-time change. And let's forward it. It's 3. Cool. And that's it. The context is going to be value 3. Continue. We have been 3 views. Nice. So that is one thing I just wanted to show you, how to debug the Django application. And the next thing I want to show you as well is, you see we have here debug console. Let's go to here, debug console. So in debug console, we can actually make some tweaks in the middle of processing. And I will show you how. Let's run one more time. And let's go this line. Okay, so what's the current value? It's 3, right? But I am going to change it something like 20. The question is why? Because sometimes you need to, change the value in the middle of process. For example, if you have some condition true and in that condition you have some logic, but for some reason you can't refactor that part of the code to make it true. So but you need to see what's the what logic will behave if the condition is true. And at this point you have to mutate the value in middle of debugging to force the execution go inside that condition. You see, that is like, how to say, manual handling. Of course, that could be not best practice, but sometimes you really need it. So I will show you how. So we have value 3, and in fact, let's keep it. I will write some if condition. Let's say if counter.value is equals to 20, then print 20. Okay, or let's say counter is 20. Oops. Okay. And yeah, and also that is the another thing I wanted to show you. Each time you made changes in the code, do not forget to refresh the debugger again, because sometimes it couldn't work, like debugger not seeing the changes you made, and that can confuse you, believe me, really bad. And you can even spend hours to figure out what you did wrong. So yeah, don't forget to refresh the page. Okay, maybe it's not hours, I made it a bit far from reality, but don't waste time by looking, but by searching what's wrong. So don't forget to refresh the debugger. Cool. All right. So we have a condition. If count value is 20, counter is 20. So I will put some breakpoint here, and also here. And let's go and refresh the page. Cool. What's the current value? 5. So that means to reach the 20, I need to refresh this page like 15 times more to reach that, you see, the condition print statement. But I want to do it right now. Why not? So I can go and write counter dot value, and that will be 20. So I mutated the value on the way. So you see currently it's 20. And if I click one step over, it will go inside this print statement. And that's it. Counter is 20. And if we go back to application, there have been 20 views. So cool, right? So yeah, that was a trick I wanted to show you. Cool. That should be all for this video. You learned like the arguments, defining the program for Django application. Actually, I have too many things to show you, but not for this video. I don't want to make it too long, and I will do them, I think, in the next video. So yeah, thank you for watching, and